It's been nearly 2 full years since The Night Agent Season 1 premiered to people with a Netflix subscription, but fortunately fans won't have to wait much longer to watch Peter Sutherland back in action. The Night Agent Season 2 is set to hit the 2025 TV schedule on January 23, and while Gabriel Basso's lead character will be joined again by Lucien Buchanan's Rose Larkin, they'll largely be accompanied by new faces in this sophomore outing. That said, even with just a few weeks left to go, no mention of her involvement, I'm still holding out hope that Hong Chau's Diane Farr will return in Season 2 for a redemption arc. As White House Chief of Staff, Diane was initially presented in Season 1 as an ally to Peter, as she was the one who recruited Peter to answer the phone for the night action program, and he even brought her into the fold when he and Rose were being pursued by assassins and learned about traitorous forces within the United States government. However, it was eventually revealed that Diane was one of those traitors, as she was coerced into helping the vice president and his allies cover up the truth behind the Metro bombing 1 year prior. Diane was determined to do whatever it took to ensure that this mess didn't blow back onto President Michelle Travers, including agreeing to have Peter killed. Although there was a moment where it looked like Rose Larkin was going to kill a gravely injured Diane Farr as revenge for having her aunt and uncle killed, she instead decided to keep the woman alive so she could stand trial and spend the rest of her life in prison. I'd understand if that meant we'll never see her again, but I also remember that, again, Diane wasn't involved in the scheme to kill People's Independence Front leader Omar Zadar from the start. She was forced into a bad situation and unfortunately went too far along with trying to clean up the mess, only turning back once President Travers was being targeted. As someone who was a mega fan of fellow action thriller series 24 back in the day, I remember how often old villains would be brought back to aid Jack Bauer in trying to stop whatever threat was plaguing him for another 24-hour period, whether it was out of the kindness of their heart or as part of a leniency deal. This is what I hope will happen with Diane Farr in The Night Agent Season 2. As seen in the trailer below, Season 2 will follow Peter Sutherland investigating a leak in the CIA and being forced to go AWOL after the operation he was on went bad. He's been put in a position where he can't trust anyone out of fear that night action's been compromised. To echo what I said earlier, there's absolutely nothing in this trailer to suggest that Diane Farr is connected to the nefarious forces at work this season, although I'm not ruling that out as a possibility. Even though she's now languishing in prison, perhaps she was somehow affiliated or crossed paths with these new villains, and now Peter requires her help in tracking them down. Or maybe she simply has information from other sources that can be used to in Peter's mission to bring these baddies to justice. Whatever the case, I could easily envision Diane Farr being temporarily taken out of prison to help Peter out. Whether that would be because she feels remorse for her actions in Season 1 or some kind of deal is arranged to make prison life more comfortable for her. This would allow the character to go on a redemptive journey to partially make up for past sins. Unfortunately, in a show like The Night Agent, this will likely end with Diane being killed, but hopefully before then she'll have done enough good to push Peter's global mission in a more positive direction. We'll find out if this is in the cards or not when The Night Agent Season 2 arrives later this month on the 2025 Netflix schedule. Fans of the series can also take comfort knowing that Season 3 has already been greenlit.